This past weekend during the Global Finals, 4 teams were within 2 points of each other heading into Championship Sunday. But it was Wunderbar's 22 Theater of Pain that proved impossible for the rest of the field to replicate, and was the edge that led to them lifting the trophy as champions. Let's break down how they were able to breathe new life into the routing of this nearly 5-year-old dungeon. One of the keys to timing a dungeon of this level is making sure you're extremely efficient with when and how you kill trash. Even though it's incredibly dangerous, the Raging Bloodhorn is pulled into the affront of champions. Each Raging Tantrum cast has a ton of AoE group damage. If it ever overlaps either their Mighty Smash or Searing Death, can instantly combo a group from 100 to 0. After dealing with the first boss, we see the first major change in routing. While all our other teams opt to head to the Duelist wing, Wunderbar instead set their sights on Xyronic. After dealing with a standard Portal Guardian pull, they then instead take the portal to the right toward the 2 Bone Mages. And then every non-tank player in the group uses their Test Pilot's Go Pack to jump towards the Soulforged Bone Reaver platform, just barely able to live the fall damage. Now gets gripped down by the priest, snapping the 2 Bone Mages down with him, and they're now on a platform near the end of the wing with 6 Bone Mages and a mini-boss. A perfect Arcane Mage funnel target. Great use of Death Grips and a Sigil of Chains group up the casters, providing a perfect setup for the myriad of AoE stops required to deal with this pack. After dealing with this pull, Wunderbar now heads backwards through the portal, going up to the platform they would have normally had to deal with in order to reach the Bone Reaver in the first place. Once again, every mob on the platform pulled together on top of the Portal Guardian, and a perfect AoE CC rotation is required to stop these casts. Any extra cast going off would be an instant death. After dealing with the Portal Guardian, the group is then allowed to go on the left side to the 2 Dark Speakers rather than where the Bone Reaver was, in order to get as much count as possible in this section of the dungeon. Again, every mob on this platform is gathered together, and another perfect AoE CC rotation is required to live through this pull. Finally, with all of the extra count they've accrued, they don't need to deal with the small platform with only 3 mobs on it. Now pulls the mobs to the side, allowing his teams to skirt by, only needing to use Shadow Meld to use the portal in case they accidentally get in combat. And now soon follows with a Shadow Meld of his own. Xyronic and the Duelist wing are dealt with in a relatively standard fashion, with Wunderbar making sure to extract maximum funnel potential at all times. Lost Soul Spawns and Xyronic are allowed to slowly creep into the boss where they can get cleaved down by their Arcane Mage, and they also pull the 2 remaining ossified conscripts from the Captain pull in the Duelist wing into Zav the Unfallen. The other routing change that maximizes funnel starts in the Construct wing. Instead of dealing with the first pull like most routes do, they instead run through the upper quarters as quickly as possible, with Genji using both of his Frost Nova charges on the first 2 packs to reduce group damage as much as possible while they skip by. Whippy does die here, but a quick battle res makes sure the team is still on pace. Once through the gas bag patrol, the entire team uses Shadow Meld to drop combat and move to the lower quarters. A standard trash pull seems like a brief reprieve from the speedy nature of the run, but the second the gas bag and sludge spewer are dead, they're off to the races once again. This time, every remaining trash mob in the lower quarters of the wing is pulled into Gore Chop. Every horror, every butcher, the sludge spewer still left alive, and all of the refuse that spawns while walking down the pathway into the boss. DPS players cannot afford to take any extra damage from the leaps from this trash because their tank is under so much pressure here. Just the melee swings from these extra trash mobs could be enough to take him from 100 to 0 in mere seconds. Unfortunately, Now does die near the end of the encounter, but it's well after all of the trash is dead. We're able to pick him up and are good to go for the remainder of the dungeon. After dealing with Gore Chop, the question is, what do Wunderbar do about the trash they left upstairs? Get our answer immediately. Again, Now's team leaves him to fend on his own, tanking the enemies, while they run up to start the RP to spawn more Dretha, final boss encounter of the dungeon. Once ready, now locks the enemies in place. A sigil of chains into a Chaos Nova in the corner allows him to flee to the teleporter and meet his team upstairs. With Trash in tow, and a boss to funnel all of that damage onto. Again, now is dealing with a nasty tank buster boss with extra trash, but this time around, has more than enough resources to tank that damage, allowing his team ample time to DPS the boss down. With only 13 seconds left on the timer, they defeat Mordretha, earning them the world first and only 22 Theater of Pain. Wunderbar would go on to have an insane performance on Sunday, trading blows with the defending champions Mandatory, but it was this run, along with an absolutely insane overtime run in Cinderbrumetery, that led to Wunderbar overtaking Mandatory in the final moments of Sunday, beating them by only 55 seconds in the closest MDI final in the history of the event. Thank you for watching MDI this season. We hope you enjoyed the changes in Season 2. Until next time, good luck in your dungeons. We'll see you in Azeroth.